Good afternoon and welcome to the 7th flight test of Starship. It is currently 4:03 p.m. Central Time here at Starbase, Texas, and it
What
is
is
a
up,
beautiful
guys?
and breezy afternoon for another flight around the world.
Oh yeah, we're back.
I'm Kate Tice,
Starship
Senior
Flight
Quality
7.
Systems
Oh, sorry,
Engineering
hold on. My
Manager at
microphone's a little loud.
SpaceX,
Sorry for
and
that.
I'm joining
Wait,
Dan
we're
for
back.
my
Starship Flight
first
7.
ever in-person Starship launch at Starbase. You can see the rocket behind us. It's
Oh, yeah.
mind-blowing. This is quite the view, Dan.
No better seat in the house, no better thing to talk about a rocket as you watch it launch. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Starbase for another Starship launch. I'm Dan Hewitt from SpaceX Communications.
Flight 7.
We are at T-minus under 33 minutes and counting. Our T0 time coming a little after the bottom of the hour. Now, Starship program has brought us nonstop excitement back in 2024. This year shaping up to be even bigger.
Absolutely. We're looking at
There it
even
is.
more launches of Starship this year with tons of exciting firsts starting today. Flight 7 has a lot in store, from Starship's next generation upper stage design on its first flight today to deploying the first simulated Starlink satellites and the second booster catch attempt.
Oh yeah.
We're kicking off 2025 in style here in the Lone Star State. So hold on to your butts because it's going to be a wild year.
Hold on to your butts, guys.
All ramping up as we chase after that full reusability for the world's biggest rocket, and we're going to be with you today every step of the way. Also joining us, though, amid a very excited crowd growing over there in Hawthorne, is Jesse Anderson. Jesse, how's everything going in LA?
Hawthorne,
Hey, Dan
California.
and Kate, everything is all good here on the factory floor. We're just outside of Mission Control, and we're T-minus 31 minutes away, but we already have a really big crowd here building. There you go. Starting to build up here. Every flight of Starship has made huge progress, and today is another exciting one. We're joined by Starship, Raptor, and Starlink teams here with me today, and everyone is getting super excited for this flight test. So with that in mind, I expect it to get very loud in here soon. But for now, I'm going to hand it back over to you guys at Starbase for a quick look back at the flights that brought us here today.
Hey, thanks, Jesse.
Jeremiah is going to be joining us in about 15 minutes here.
Faster we learn, the sooner we realize full and rapid reuse. The previous 6 flight tests proved we're on the right track. Each one of those tests provides a ton of invaluable data and, of course, some pretty great views along the way.
Oh, yeah. Every one of those tests informed the upgrades that are debuting on today's flight test. And you know, we've all been watching this, following through the incredible testing campaign for every flight. And man, I can't wait for today as well as everything else we've got planned this year.
Just a recap of what happened just before this flight test. Our most recent one, it was back in November 19th. That was Flight 6. It lifted off at 4 p.m. Central from Starbase, Texas, just a couple miles over our shoulder.
It was a gorgeous sunset ascent. Let's take a look.
Attention all flight crew members, flight is go for launch.
I'll go ahead and mute.
It's been just over a month since Flight 5. Goal is to get that turnaround time down to hours.
We have liftoff.
Stage separation.
30 seconds until catch decision.
Booster offshore diverge.
Tune in and watch the ship fly around planet Earth.
Relight demo startup. And shutdown.
Starship is at 100 kilometers altitude. Flaps now have control of the vehicle. Starship has started the subsonic belly flop. Starship has landed.
All right, now today's flight test is going to look pretty similar profile-wise to that last one and honestly the last couple. So everything starts off, as always, with liftoff. The Super Heavy igniting those 33 Raptor engines. Super Heavy going to power us through that initial ascent, get Starship on its way to space before we get to the hot stage maneuver.
Exactly. The ship will then ignite engines while it's still attached to the booster. That will allow us to separate the two stages.
Looks like
that
the booster goes
will
brilliant
leave
anyway.
a few engines on
But
for
it's
that
actually
flip
using a lot of
and
energy just to get out
return
the
back
atmosphere.
here to Starbase for a catch at the
Hopefully it's going to be
launch
cut
tower.
this time.
And while
So
booster
I'm
catch
pretty,
is blowing
I'm
our minds, ship
confident
keeps
it's gonna
going all the
get
way to
caught.
space, gets into its suborbital trajectory. Got a couple on-orbit things. We're going to deploy our first test satellites. Also going to relight a Raptor engine while in space. That all sets us up then for re-entry.
As we have seen on the previous flights, courtesy of Starlink, that re-entry period gives us such gorgeous views. It's like, you know, just a rainbow flow of colors as the ship re-enters the Earth's atmosphere. The ship will relight its engines, perform a flip maneuver for a soft water landing in our targeted location in the Indian Ocean. And that will once again be daylight given our later launch window. So today's flight test will be launching the next generation of Starship. It'll attempt the first payload deployment test, fly multiple re-entry experiments geared toward ship catch and reuse, and of course, the launch and return of the Super Heavy booster back to the launch site right there behind us.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing, but ship,
kind
of the star of the show for a lot of stuff today. A huge block of upgrades to Starship's upper stage are debuting on this flight test, adding more capability. We'll start off up top. Those forward flaps got a redesign. They shrunk in size. We shifted them towards the top of the vehicle, away from the heat shield. That's going to make it significantly less exposed to re-entry heating. And then Starship itself, we made it about 2 meters taller. So we
see the
stretched
flame
it up to about
trims still
52
working in the
meters. That
background
allowed
there.
us to add 25% more propellant volume, along with a bunch of propulsion upgrades like vacuum jacketing of those feed lines to the engines, an entirely new feed line system for the Raptor vacuum engines, an improved avionics module for propulsion, all that adding performance and the ability to fly longer missions.
And just like on Flight 6, tiles have been purposely removed to stress test vulnerable areas. This time we're doing it across the entire vehicle, including in critical areas as we use this flight to push the boundaries of Starship's capabilities. And for re-entry experiments, multiple metallic tiles are being tested, as you can see there on your screen, including some that have a version with active cooling.
Then the vehicle's avionics, its brains, got a complete redesign. Some of the new things, we've got 4 of these upgraded Starlink terminals that combine Starlink, global navigation, and RF communications into a single unit. And then on the sides of the vehicle, we have these catch fittings. They're non-structural, but we're going to be able to see how they perform thermally during re-entry. We also smoothed part of that tile line to address some hot spots that we saw during entry on the last flight.
Now the ship and the booster, they weren't the only thing to get some upgrades. On the ground side, several radar sensors will be tested on the tower catch arms as we experiment with additional ways to measure distance between the arms and the vehicle while we prepare for ship catch. Now this is just a handful of the many upgrades included on this flight that make this the most capable Starship that we've flown so far.
And then something really cool has me super excited. We're going to be deploying 10 Starlink simulators that are similar in size to our next generation Starlink satellites. With pretty unparalleled payload capacity and full reusability, Starship's going to be able to deploy our more advanced V3 Starlink satellites, which is going to help us continue to revolutionize global connectivity. Each of those Starlink V3 launches on Starship is going to add about 60 terabits per second of capacity to the Starlink network. And that alone is that's more than 20 times the capacity we're getting with every V2 Mini flight on a Falcon 9 right now. That just helps further Starlink's impact in the coming years as we expand access to high-speed internet all around the world and eventually beyond. And those Starlink simulators are going to be on the same suborbital trajectory as Starship, and they're expected to demise upon entry. Starship itself, its trajectory looks very similar to all of our last several flights, suborbital, splashdown targeted into the Indian Ocean, a couple hundred miles off the western coast of Australia. And then the other on-orbit thing we're doing is going to be relighting a single Raptor engine while in space. We knocked that out last time. V2 ship, new propellant system. Let's do it again on this one.
Ship's going to be busy.
Okay,
Now, of course, we can't forget to add that today's super heavy booster is reflying flight-proven hardware for the first time. A Raptor engine that flew on the booster that was caught during Starship's fifth flight test. You can see it there on your screen. This flight-proven engine, we've got Raptor 314 there, hence why there's a piece of pie on this nozzle. Maybe we can get that image rotated so you can see it a little bit better.
314
Yep,
is the
there
pie
we go.
number.
If you didn't already know, we like our jokes around here. So that's what we have planned for today's flight test, and so far everything is on track as we continue to count down. We're now within 23 minutes of launch. We're at 22 minutes and 52 seconds. Everything continues to look good. Still a little breezy, but that's okay for us.
Yeah, we set up our desk in a wind tunnel today. It's probably windier here than it is anywhere else, but weather's cooperating, really clear skies, no rain today, still well within our limits for booster launch or catch. Not tracking any issues on vehicle as we continue to count down. We're still loading prop on board. Our range team also reporting that the range looks like it will be clear at our current T0. So that's super important. We're going to keep an eye on that all the way up to the end.
As for what we've already done with the vehicle leading up to today, we stacked the vehicle over the weekend. We lifted the ship on top of the super heavy booster. Hours ago, we cleared the site of all personnel, and of course our flight controllers came on console, some of them sitting in the building behind Dan and I. And as Dan mentioned, the range team was deployed. They are standing by in the Gulf to make sure that the booster has a clear to return back to here at the launch tower, but also they are located in the Indian Ocean, standing by to make sure that the targeted landing zone for the
They got
ship
people in the
is
Indian
also
Ocean.
clear as well.
And then we knock out a whole bunch of
All
things
the way
in
out
the
there,
hours
dang.
before launch. We do an alignment on all the guidance, navigation, and control. We did tank purges, pressure checkouts, make sure we were ready for prop load, check the booster, quick disconnects, and the ship one. We demate the chopsticks. We actually do a little wiggle check on them, make sure we have control, as we're going to be using those for catch. Load up all of the hydraulics that are on the tower, and then we did the initial locks and methane chills. All
right, Jeremiah's calling.
Now, speaking of prop load, we conducted the go, no-go poll for prop load at 3:30, so a little bit less than an hour ago. All was good there. Prop load is underway. The lock load on the booster started at T-minus 45 minutes, and fuel started at T-minus 43 minutes.
Same.
Booster fuel will start at T-minus 41 minutes, and then locks on the booster started at T-minus 35.
So we're at like
T-minus
20
wrap
minutes.
up at T-minus 3 minutes and 20 minutes on the ship side, and at T-minus 2 minutes and 50 seconds on the booster side. So everything is looking good. Propellant is loading.
Yeah, looks like we're about half full of everything on booster, 3/4 of the way there on ship, looking good for a launch today. With that, though, let's jump over. Let's check back in with Jesse real quick and all of our teams out at Hawthorne.
Thanks, Dan and Kate, and great to hear the updates with the vehicle as we prepare for liftoff. There is a lot more people here, as expected. Love it. All the Raptor engines are built here, so there's a lot of that team here in the crowd, so they have a strong connection to the Starship flight today. Every flight test gets us closer to a fully operational Starship, which gets us closer to our ultimate goal to make humanity a multiplanetary species. To establish cities on Mars, we're going to need high-cadence, low-cost flights for cargo and crew. As the only fully reusable rocket with this kind of capability, Starship is the only vehicle in development that will be able to unlock our multi-planet future. Starship uses a first-of-its-kind on-orbit propellant transfer to refuel in orbit in preparation for these long trips. With milestones like ship catch and in-orbit prop transfer coming up, 2025 promises to be huge for Starship and our journey to Mars, with our first trip currently planned for the end of 2026. Between the reusability, low cost, and heavy lift capabilities, this all comes together to help us deliver up to 100 people at a time to destinations both near and far, and to deliver payloads farther and at a lower cost than any other vehicle. we'll be able to launch more massive payloads than anything else flying or in development today, capable of sending things like giant space telescopes or the next generations of space stations into orbit on a single launch. So while today's flight is just a test, the future is much closer than we realize. But one flight test at a time. So let's head back to Dan and Kate for a closer look at Starship.
Thanks, Jesse. Starship features two major parts: the ship, which has 6 Raptor engines, and the Super Heavy booster, which has 33 Raptor engines. The Raptor engine is a reusable methane-oxygen staged combustion engine that powers the Starship system and has twice the thrust of the Falcon 9 Merlin engine. Now, just like we saw flights 1 through 6, the current iteration of Starship is an experimental vehicle flying for development. As we mentioned earlier, today's flight is debuting a ton of upgrades that we've had in the works in order to increase Starship's reliability and performance. Several of these upgrades will also unlock our ability to fly longer missions, something that we'll want to do as we start doing orbital flights around Earth.
And then to get an even better sense of just how big Starship is, we can start here. Let's take a person about 2 meters tall, towering over that.
Falcon.
You got your Millennium Falcon clocking in at 35.
And Falcon 9.
Just above that, we've got a Falcon 9 rocket, payload variant attached. Double that height, you're up at 70 meters. And then topping it all off, nearly twice the size, it's a fully stacked Starship up to 123. Got 2 meters taller. Altogether, the ship 52 meters, Super Heavy boosters 71. And what's super fun is we're going to make ship and booster even taller in the future.
It's going to look a little
crazy,
wonky, but
turning around and looking at it and thinking that it's going to be bigger, that's mind-blowing.
Make the ship as tall as the booster.
Now, moving up the rocket, the ship features 6 Raptor engines. 3 optimized for sea level performance and 3 optimized for vacuum performance. Raptor Vacuum, or RVAC, is a similar design to the Raptor engine, but features a larger exhaust section and a larger expansion nozzle to maximize the engine's efficiency in space. Our upgraded ship that we're debuting today carries about 300 more tons of propellant than the last flight's ship, bumping it up from 1,200 metric tons to about 1,500 metric tons. It's a lot. The ship is designed for vertical takeoff and landing on any hard surface.
Weighs a lot more, so
now, the ship is also outfitted with
we got onboard cameras.
forward flaps that are used to aerodynamically control the vehicle's attitude during atmospheric flight and enable a precision landing. The new flaps are lighter and positioned more leeward or away from the heat shield.
Now, to reach full reusability, the ship has to be able to survive re-entry not just one time, but
cross-section on the grid fins are
the ship's heat shield is essentially what does the job for that. We've been iterating on that every single flight, building towards that heat shield that requires no refurbishment between flights. Now, the heat shield is composed of thousands of hexagonal ceramic tiles. They're designed to insulate the vehicle during that atmospheric entry where temperatures ramp up to as high as
a little diagram that shows the loading of the
rapidly reusable heat shield has never been flown in history. So continuously improving this, flying new experiments, those are all key focuses of all of our flight tests right now.
And in between the first and second stages is our hot stage, which we saw in actions on flights 2 through 6. The hot staging maneuver is when the upper stage engines are ignited before the booster engines, before those booster engines are completely cut off. With hot staging, the rocket never stops accelerating during separation, so it's more efficient than traditional stage separation.
During the hot
One
stage,
of the hallmarks of Starship flights
most engines
are
cut
the
off,
incredible
most
views
of the
that we get
engines turn
throughout
off,
flight.
and then it
Of
starts
course,
decelerating,
courtesy
so
of
they're
Starlink.
actually wrong.
Every day, we're working to expand the Starlink network both on Earth and in space. Here's Jesse with more.
Fans of Starship may know that Starlink enables us to bring you lots of unprecedented views, both from space and here on Earth.
Yeah, also you might get more views.
Dozens of cameras on Starship itself. We also have mobile Starlink camera kits deployed in the Indian Ocean, connected to our aerial assets and all around Starbase, which all come together to help tell the incredible story of Starship, both on and off planet. Thanks to Starlink, Starship is capable of streaming more than 120 megabits of real-time, high-definition video and telemetry in every phase of flight, providing invaluable engineering data to
If I
help
see a
engineers
single
rapidly
lag
iterate across
SpaceX,
all
I'm gonna be
systems.
disappointed.
And all that streaming data will be put to good use with the more than 30 cameras on the vehicle for today's flight test.
I
Starlink
could have
is the
sworn
world's
they had
largest
already had
satellite
like hundreds on the
operating
ship.
in low Earth orbit
Or
to
something
deliver
like that. It is
high-speed,
a high number.
low-latency broadband internet, providing access to people around the world.
I
Many who
thought
have never
cameras
had
weren't a
connectivity
problem,
before.
but
Starlink
I don't
now
know.
serves
Maybe
more
that's the
than
booster. I don't know.
119 countries, territories, and other markets. And here at SpaceX, we've been developing Starlink's communication capabilities not just for humans on Earth, but for astronauts in space. Our recent Polaris Dawn mission, we deployed a high-speed internet connection in Dragon for the very first time. Here's a quick look at how that went.
Starlink is an amazing confluence of programs at SpaceX. So we have a whole corner of the company that owns and operates a multiple thousand satellite constellation to provide internet to people on Earth. So Dragon was modified.
It's just
Polaris Dawn
Starship
to
launching in the
have
background.
A laser and a Star Trekker inside of the trunk, and then it will obtain
Wait, what?
internet both uplink and
Polaris Dawn?
downlink
I was not
through
listening.
that
Hold
laser
on.
link, and it's connected to a Wi-Fi router, just like you would have in your house.
Wait.
Getting online with Starlink was super easy.
It was just like getting it online at home, and even easier, perhaps. It just connected automatically and then worked seamlessly.
May the Starlink
And then
be
it was
with you?
just
Come on,
internet
bro.
in space.
The Starlink performance on orbit blew us
an
away.
iPad
It enabled
mini.
us to talk directly with mission control team, and it also enabled us two-way video connection with our families.
Oh, that's
back
the
at home.
Polaris
So
Dawn
it
crew
just
that's speaking.
was an incredible resource.
That went
One
on
of my
the.
favorite memories is, you know, all four of us in different parts of the spacecraft on phones with our earpieces talking to our families. Get to show them the perspective that we have of Earth. It was very cool to bring them into the mission that way.
I was able to show my kids and my husband, you know, what it looked like to be floating
we're
in
approaching
space. I got to show
10
them out the
minutes.
window. Well, my husband even exclaimed that at one point we hung up the call and he called back and I answered and he was like, I called space.
Starlink on Dragon is something that we want to include because we have this company within SpaceX that has space-based internet. So what not a better way to test space-based internet in space?
Exactly.
From connecting astronauts in space to providing high-speed internet to more than 4.6 million active customers here on Earth,
Wow.
the Starlink team is laser-focused on expanding coverage, increasing speeds, and lowering latency so that we can connect as many as possible around the world and beyond. Last year, we activated Starlink in 27 new markets and are now covering a global area home to 2.8 billion people, including those who live in some of the most remote places on Earth. To meet the growing global demand for high-speed internet, SpaceX opened a new 700,000 square foot factory in Bastrop, Texas, and introduced Starlink Mini as well as an upgraded version of the Starlink Standard Kit. The SpaceX team also achieved an unprecedented
RV3,
launch cadence,
you sure?
conducting 134
Just skipping
Falcon
the
launches,
big
with 89
V2.
dedicated to expanding the Starlink constellation. With each launch, Starlink adds more capacity to the constellation and continues to expand its coverage, connecting even more people in underserved and hardest to reach areas of the globe. Now, while our mission to connect the unconnected is far from complete, you can check out some of the Starlink team's highlights from 2024 and learn more about how our customers are furthering Starlink's impact around the world at starlink.com/stories. And a little bit closer to home, we do have a few updates for those impacted by the fires here in Southern
Oh
California.
yeah, I was gonna.
So
wondering
far, the
about that.
Starlink team has provided
all Cybertrucks?
about
Freak.
1,350 free kits to fire departments and other disaster response organizations from down in Orange County all the way up to Malibu. That is in addition to applying free Starlink service for thousands of customers impacted by the fires all across the Los Angeles area. And just as critically, since enabling our
It's Elon
direct-to-cell
Musk.
satellites with T-Mobile, more than 120,000 text messages have been sent, allowing those in impacted areas to reach loved ones, text 911, or receive emergency alerts. I've never been prouder to be an employee at SpaceX for moments like that where we can help the people and community around us. Make sure to follow
LA
at Starlink
wildfires,
on
man.
X for updates as we continue to work with local response teams, and check out starlink.com/LA wildfires for more information on these efforts. But back to today's flight test. One of our objectives is to return the booster to the launch site where it will be caught by the tower, as we did on flight test 5. So let's head back to Dan and Kate for a catch primer.
Thanks, Jesse. We are now T-minus 8 minutes and 40 seconds until liftoff. Flight controllers on console there in the building just behind Dan and I. You can actually see the rocket in the distance at the pad 6 miles away. Our excitement is growing. I already am not sure if I'm going to be able to remain coherent after witnessing this, so looking forward to it.
You'll be all right. You'll be all right. Just a quick status check. The ship fully loaded in its main tanks on locks.
Okay, I see.
And
Starship upper stage is fully filled.
Let's talk about that second catch attempt, though. So we're going to use the tower's 2 gigantic robotic arms, call them the chopsticks. Same thing we use to stack Starship onto Super Heavy for all the integration ahead of a flight. And that's what we use to catch by moving stuff like landing legs from the booster to the ground side. It's a lighter booster, means you can carry more into space.
Now, in a nominal operational scenario following liftoff and after the 2 stages separate in flight, Super Heavy will return to the launch site, reignite its engines to slow the vehicle down, and the tower's arms will catch the rocket booster.
And just to get to this point, just like before, thousands of distinct vehicle pad criteria have to be met prior to that return and catch. We need healthy systems on the booster, healthy systems on the tower, and a manual command from our mission flight director for the day. If we don't send that command before the boost back burn ends, or if any of those automated checks kick us out, that's what happens on flight 6. The Super Heavy booster will divert to an offshore trajectory, and it'll go out and do a landing burn and a soft splashdown in the Gulf of Mexico.
And then shut down and
now, we have said it before, but it remains true today. We accept no compromises when it comes to ensuring the safety of the public and our team, and that return will only take place if the conditions are right.
I swear,
one of the unique aspects of Starship flights
and the booster has to land in the ocean.
Catch up that Super Heavy booster and the audible sonic boom that it comes with it in the area around the return location.
Hey, is the booster
General
gonna be able
impact
to
anyone in the area is just a thunder-like
I don't know if the
noise,
booster's fully loading this time.
Let you know it's coming.
Oh yeah.
It's
something our neighbors in Cape Canaveral, Florida, and Vandenberg, California have become accustomed to
since they're catching it, I don't know.
And
also
now
the
we're
extra
bringing
weight,
the boom
so
to
that's gonna
Boca.
cause.
So here's a peek of what
They're gonna
to
need
expect.
more fuel for that because the extra weight of the upper stage. And they had a lot of extra fuel left on this launch. Wow. Amazing.
As I mentioned earlier, we have Starship, Raptor, and Starlink employees here fully invested in this flight test. And of course, many other SpaceX employees also here across our sites supporting their teams, their teammates. Every flight test has been pretty unique, and we're all very excited for another round of firsts, but I'm pretty sure the crowd is looking forward to potentially watching those chopsticks catch another booster. So let's see how excited they are today.
Huh? Oh, she had to. They were not paying attention. You had to make them cheer.
Just under 5 minutes to go. We are all very excited here. We're going to send it back to you at Starbase for the final minutes of the countdown. Kate and Dan.
All right, thank you, Jesse. So if you're just tuning in under 5 minutes ago, you picked the right time to do it. Just a quick status check. So we're almost fully loaded on the booster. We'll be fully loaded on the ship, fully loaded on the booster coming up soon. Our range team just reported that we're looking go in the range. That's super important.
Some little boat
guys.
just gets in the way.
Mike, Kyle,
delays
Nick,
the
the whole
launch by
team
like
out
30
there in the
minutes.
elements, making sure everything's clear, doing a fantastic job. and we are coming up on 4 minutes and looking good for launch.
Yeah, certainly exciting. Now, we do have an opportunity to hold at T-minus 40 seconds if necessary. This is a chance for us to perform additional checks if necessary. If we, need to repressurize some tanks, or if there's a wayward vessel in the range last minute, opportunity to clear it out. But everything currently looking good. Now, once we pass T-minus 40 seconds, a number of events will occur in rapid succession. The ground spin and ignition systems come up to flight pressure. The ship will go to internal power. After that, the quick disconnect, or QD, arm lockout is removed in preparation for retraction, which will happen shortly after T0. And yeah, once we pass T-minus 40 seconds, we do have the ability. We have the ability to recycle the count under certain conditions back to that T-minus 40 second mark and hold there to assess what happened and assess opportunity to proceed again to T0.
I guess they are fully loading the
that
booster.
T-minus 40 hold a couple of times. Boat's usually one of the items, but
why is the
tracking anything right now that would cause us to hold there?
methane
We can
tank
hold there for
going
several
up and
minutes.
down
Main thing
in
you're watching
percentage?
at is you kind of set a clocks because your temperatures will change and the fuel and the locks everything pretty quickly. So you've got a couple of minutes that you can hang out and figure things out. There are items that if we pass them, we're scrubbed for the day. One of the main ones is that flame deflector at the bottom of the launch mount. Water begins flowing for that at the T-minus 10 second mark. If we scrub at any point after that, we'll be done for the day. And then teams will need to refill the deflector as well as all of our prop that we use to load on board the vehicle. It's pretty much just under 11 million pounds of prop sitting on that thing right now. And we can actually recycle in about 24 hours now.
Which is incredible given the sheer volume of propellant that is on board the vehicle there on your screen.
All right, guys. T-minus 2 minutes.
Up on the 2 minute mark. Again, a lot of ambitious things on the plate for Starship today.
T-minus 2 minutes.
New ship, new year,
Oh,
a lot of
yeah.
upgrades. Doing a lot lot of ambitious things in space this time. Our first payload deploy,
Booster
relighting a
14
Raptor
and
engine.
ship 33.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking good.
So as we mentioned before, we have an opportunity to hold at T-minus 40 seconds, not tracking any issues at the moment that would be necessary right now. So fingers crossed we can pass through that checkpoint without stopping. But the folks on console are continuing
got
to
2 million
evaluate the launch commit
views, guys.
criteria, making sure that the winds are within limits.
All right,
as
y'all.
well
A
as
minute
any
and
of those
30
weather
seconds until
restrictions, but,
launch.
man, compared to yesterday, this is a textbook gorgeous day.
Oh yeah, little breezy today, but we got clear blue skies for a launch today. So at this point, all the prop has been.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get a lot of great
closed
views
everything
since
out. We're doing our final thrust vector.
there's a
control,
lot, no
our
clouds in
steering
sight.
for the engine checkouts. Once we hit the 30-second mark, we'll hear the flight director give the final go for launch.
All right, y'all. The
So
last
under a minute.
less than a minute.
As we said, we're not
Here we go.
expecting a hold at T-minus 40.
We're gonna find out.
But do not be shocked if that happens.
All right, let me get ready.
It's happened in the past, and we can hang out there for a couple of minutes if we need to.
If memory serves me right,
We hold my breath for 4 seconds.
Pass through prop load gate.
Okay.
All right, we passed right through that prop load gate.
Everything looks good.
dog.
All right, so
30
we're
seconds,
gonna let
y'all.
our
Oh
flight
my
director,
gosh.
Ty
All
Huntington,
right.
take
Flight
it
directors,
away.
go for launch.
Go for launch it. Go for launch.
And 20 seconds.
Okay. Okay. Dang. Okay, this is really happening. They got the
T-minus 10, 9.
Okay, water deluge in a minute here.
7, 6, 5.
Water deluge.
4, 3, 2.
Engine ignition.
1.
And liftoff. Starship V2. Wow. 7th launch, y'all. Look at it go. Y'all, dang, y'all hear that? Oh, look at that.
The vehicle's pitching downrange.
Amazing.
Booster check pressure's nominal.
Whoa. All engines. Dang, everything looking good.
All right, we're
Wow.
more than 30 seconds into flight. Telemetry showing 33 out of 33 engines as it's pitching downrange.
Booster, ship, avionics power, and telemetry nominal.
Hearing good call-outs on the ship and booster
Something
avionics.
flapping
You
off
just
the
heard
ship
the rumble
there.
hitting us
I don't know
about
what
6
that
miles
is, but
away. Watching
it shouldn't be
Starship
too
arc
important
into just
if it's
endless
on a
blue
stainless
skies
steel.
right now.
I think. Hold it. Or is that for the Starlink? I don't know.
Vehicle supersonic.
It should be good.
More than a minute into flight, the vehicle's supersonic.
Oh, dang, we're supersonic, and Max Q should be coming up in a couple seconds.
Max Q.
Yep, and there we go. Max Q, y'all.
So we just passed through
at
Max
that thing
Q.
go,
That's the
bro.
greatest
Wow.
stress the vehicle's going to experience on the way uphill. Reminder
You can
that
see
all
the
of
build
our
site
teams
down there,
out here on
yo,
the ground
the
are
production
now
site.
looking at systems on the tower. They just did a manual check through. That's going to inform that manual flight director's decision.
I love these onboard views, y'all.
Next moment coming up, though, is going to be hot staging. Don't take your eyes off it. It's one heck of a light show.
What he said.
What a
Man,
gorgeous
now they're really
ascent.
going down range. Love the
6
blue
ship engines
Raptor.
getting ready to ignite.
The blue Raptor
That's
plume,
going to
as
happen
you can see
while
there.
we're
It's kind
still
of disappearing
attached.
though, as the atmosphere thins out.
We can still see the ship's engines from the ground.
The ships? What? The game had boosters.
Got a little under 30 seconds away from that.
up.
We are hearing good call-outs
Looks like
on the
engine
tower
chill.
preparedness from the manual checks. Reminder,
for
though,
the
we
ship,
still
it
got
looks like.
automated checkouts on the booster and the ship itself. But as of right now, our manual
Here
checks
we
and our
go.
manual commanding
Look at the
is
good fins.
looking
Good fins
go-
turning.
go
Yep,
for a
good fins
catch.
turned. Good fins turned.
That is incredible news.
Miko.
We just heard the call out for booster
And
engine
Miko.
cutoff.
ship ignition.
Most engines
Hot
cut off,
staging.
down
Oh, that was so smooth. Oh my god, look at it go.
Boost back burn start.
And boost back burn and uh-oh. We have an engine out. No! There's an engine out. No, don't tell me that means that they can't land.
All right,
There's an
hot
engine out on the
staging
boost
confirmed.
back burn.
We've got a booster hopefully on our way back to us, and a ship
If
now
one
making its
outer
ascent
engine out,
burn
is that bad?
into space.
I
How's
know
going
it
in
can.
Hawthorne,
It can probably
Jesse?
land, but
It's
will
great
SpaceX
over
let
here.
it
You
land?
can hear the
'Cause
crowd screaming for every
they said
milestone.
everything had to be perfect, but I don't
The
know.
booster is now making its way back down to Earth. Looks like we have 12 of those 13 engines ignited. We're using the
bro, I
engines
swear
that
if they
actually
don't catch
gimbal,
it,
so
bro.
Go for booster return.
Okay.
an excellent call out there. We
Wow.
are go for booster
Everything's looking
return.
good.
Power and
3
telemetry
engines
nominal.
on now.
There's a lot of criteria that needed to line up to ensure that we could have a
Boost back
safe,
burn shutdown.
And boost
a
back burn
safe
shutdown.
booster catch, and it sounds like we got
All right,
the
now
go for
listen,
that.
listen. And hot stage ring jettison.
And there you can see on your screen. We
Now
had
listen
the,
if we say,
just
booster
jettisoned
offshore
the
divert.
hot stage.
Hopefully they don't
there's
say
a
it, but we'll
great
see.
Excellent view there of the hot
I wonder
stage
what happened
floating
to the
away
engine.
from the super heavy booster.
And RCS and venting.
Now we've shut down the engines for that boost back burn. That confirms boost back burn is now complete. That was the first of 2 burns required for the
good
vehicle to
fins
make
are
its way
on.
back down to Earth. And next coming up will be the landing burn. That's going to be 13 of those center engines igniting
12.
again. And that will then go down to, from 13 down to 3 engines just right before we touch down. A controlled ascent stage
don't hear anything
separation,
right
as
now.
well as a
And
controlled
shit looks
boost
like
back
it's doing
burn and
good.
hot stage as well. So we're looking good for that so far. Some great views there from the ship of Earth. That looks incredible. Now Starship's ship is still
I didn't
firing
hear
its
anything
engines
about
right
a
now.
booster
Starship trajectory nominal.
And
offshore
great
divert.
call-outs.
I think it's still gonna get
Starship's
caught.
trajectory is nominal.
I
You can
think we
follow
good.
along
I think it's
the
still gonna
telemetry,
get
the
caught.
altitude in the bottom
We're gonna
left-hand
see
corner
if
for
it
the super heavy booster, as well as the bottom right-hand
goes
corner
towards
for
the
the
shore.
ship. And these
Because it kind of
views
angles
are
itself to
just
change its
amazing.
trajectory. So if it's pointing towards the shore, then that's another sign of it's probably going to get
Again,
caught.
the booster is currently
Coming
making
through
its
re-entry,
way back
things are
to
probably
the
getting
tower
toasty now.
today. So we're looking
Okay, it
forward
is
to
getting
a
caught.
booster catch with the
Nice.
chopsticks.
Yep, it's already over the
meantime,
coast. It
You
almost
can see
looks
those
like.
grid fins there,
This thing is. Wow.
helping to
Are those grid fins
control
changing
the vehicle
colors?
and guide it back
'Cause
to
of the
its
heat?
landing site.
Wow.
Booster FTS is saved.
FTS is safe.
Now with that, we're going to hand it back.
Yeah,
Now
what if
let's
this
go
goes
to
wrong?
Dan and Kate.
Oh, it's
How
gonna
are you
only
doing,
go
Kate?
so
Seeing that in
bad.
person.
I'm scared, y'all. That engine. Come on.
Dan had to take that entire segment because I couldn't talk. That was incredible.
There it is.
All right,
we can
here
see
we
the
go.
booster coming back in
Coming in
now
re-entry, everything's
through
looking
the
good.
plume. At least it looks that way to us. It's
It looks
incredible
like to
that
be
it
in
basically
control.
returns. It looks like a speeding, just like
Ship
this.
through chamber.
Oh, look at that!
Yo! Once again, we are
Look
standing
at
by
that!
for,
Oh my gosh! All that
attempting
extra
to
fuel
catch
too.
the booster at the
Look
tower.
at that!
This
Oh
would be the
my
second
god! Yeah,
tower
we got
catch.
oh
Landing
in the engine. The engine's back. The engine's
13
back.
engines?
Oh, 13 engines. And tower's
Booster now
looking
hovering
good.
as it aligns
Oh,
with
look at
the
that.
tower for catch.
Oh, everything is looking
Booster
good.
coming in. Get ready
Oh,
for that boom, Kate.
it's coming in a little fast.
Engines.
Oh, never mind. I did it!
Ready for trip out.
It got caught
Megazilla has caught the booster.
again, second time. Oh, that was amazing. A little wonky as the booster is really think of high angle of
You
attack
heard it
coming and
here.
landing there,
Megazilla
but
has
still,
caught the booster.
wow.
Once again, for
A little
the
rougher
second
than
time,
last
a
one,
successful
but
catch
that
by
was
the
pretty
launch
good.
tower. This is the same tower, the launch pad.
Yeah,
where
damn, look at that thing
booster
rocking.
Took off from just
Look at it
7.5
rocking all
minutes
the-
ago.
Jeez.
Great view from the
Bullseye.
chopstick arms, looking at those
That's
hypersonic
cool.
grid fins that steer the booster for that precision landing. It
And I
almost
mean,
looks
you
like it's
can-
flapping its
Yeah,
wings.
you can see just how small that catch fetting is too on something that's just so massive.
Yeah, I love the V2 Starship there.
That was absolutely
Hey, am I
insane.
tripping or is that some fire of some
Meanwhile,
sort? Yo,
We're
am
not
I
done
tripping?
yet.
I could have sworn I just saw a fire. Am I overreacting? I
Wow,
swear I
that
saw a
is just
fire on
absolutely
the ship's
stunning.
flap. I don't know how that even get there, but
And this, of course, a
yo,
gorgeous
the,
view
the,
from
the
tower
engines. Hold
looking
on.
down at the
Maybe
top
is it
of
supposed
the
to be like
booster.
that? Engines are shutting off in such a weird way. Look at the engines for the ship.
All right, and we
Now
are
we got one
tracking.
engine on. That's the weird.
Now we're standing
ship
by for
pattern for
views
engine
from the
shutdown,
ship, but who can take their eyes off of that incredible
Wow.
sight?
It almost
That is
looks like
once
they came
again
back with even
the
more
second
fuel.
catch of a booster
like nothing
back at the
changed.
launch tower. It was incredible to see it come back down, just this silver flare in the sky. And we can still see the launch plume behind us, and wow, that we definitely I can't speak for you, Dan, but that was
I'm not
very
sure what's going
moving
on
for
with
me.
the telemetry
Yeah,
there.
and right now you can see some of the telemetry on
That's
those
weird.
ship engines has gone out, and we're waiting for an
Yeah.
update on what our ship's
Yo, did
status
it?
is. We
Yo,
were
did
approaching,
did this ship explode?
that ship engine cut off time.
Did it had a rud
So just waiting
right
to hear.
after I was like
So,
concerned about a
obviously
fire?
We've got booster back, booster
tell me
on
the
launch
freaking
tower
ship
in the
exploded,
chopstick
bro.
arms. But we are waiting to get an update now.
Don't tell me the
the
freaking
ship.
ship exploded.
As
I saw that
we were
it looked like there was a
expecting ship
fire
engine
in
cut off
after that
about
fire.
40 seconds ago. We saw some of those engines start to go out prior to that point.
There's a lot of
So right now
methane
we
on
are-
that
we are
booster
just standing
still.
by to try and get the latest word on where we are with ships. So stick with us for just a couple of minutes as we wait to hear some updates.
Now, if you just recently joined us,
Hopefully the
you might want to
ship
hit
is okay.
rewind and go back about 9-10 minutes ago to when Starship lifted off from the launch tower that you see there. We had a gorgeous ascent followed by a stage separation where the ship separated from the super heavy booster. The booster performed a flip maneuver and returned back to the Gulf Coast here. There you can see it on your screen. Obviously a successful catch back at the launch tower, which is something that we were all hoping to see and really couldn't ask for a more beautiful background with those blue skies and blue
I really
water there.
hope the ship didn't
as Dan
explode.
said, we are standing by for
Because
an
first
update
of all,
on the
I
ship,
saw what
that
looked to
had
be a
ignited its
fire,
engines and started making its way
and
up
then
to space. So standing by for
the
more
engine
info on
started
that.
going out in a weird way. Like
But
it was
wow,
like
what an
two
experience
Raptor
to
and
see
two
that take
sea level
off,
engines and two vacuum
for that
engines,
booster
and
to come
then
back. You can see it there.
started
up close
going
on
out
your
all
screen
out of order.
to the place that it
Maybe
launched
they
from.
changed some things up. I don't
Once
know.
again, there were thousands
And maybe the connection
of
got lost. I
catch
don't
commit
know
criteria,
why,
which is
but
basically
hope
just
nothing
all
bad
the
happened.
things that we have to assess and evaluate, and basically make sure that they are. Make sure that everything is clear and acceptable conditions, both on the vehicle side as well as the tower side, in order to enable that catch. So obviously from the last two flights that we have done, where the Flight 6 we attempted but had to divert into the ocean, and then on Flight 5 we did have the first ever successful catch of the booster. We used the learnings of those two flights to hone in that catch commit criteria, and we saw success today, which is pretty awesome.
And just a quick status check. So we currently do not have comms with the ship. So,
No.
trying to figure out exactly when that happened and exactly what happened. So obviously the flight controllers right now.
So we lost the
going
ship.
through their data, looking to make sure it's not anything
knew I
instrumentation on the
saw
ship,
a
but actually try and get us a status. So again, we're gonna keep listening in on this. We'll give you an update as soon as we have a little bit more.
Bro, this ship is
So
gone,
for
not gonna
now,
lie.
stage one,
I knew
back in
something
the
was
tower,
wrong when I saw the
waiting to
fire.
find out a
It
little
looked
bit
like there's
more
a
about
fire on the
stage
aft
two.
flap section. I was like, cause let's go back here.
To a booster catch with the chopsticks.
Come pad
massive.
So one of the Raptors went out, which was see.
That
Look,
was
that is a
absolutely
fire. Look, that is a fire right there, guys. Am I
Meanwhile,
tripping? That was a fire.
But
We're
wait,
not
there's
done
more.
yet.
Absolutely stunned. Who can take their
That
eyes
was a
off
fire,
of that
guys. I don't know
incredible
what's
sight?
That was definitely a fire. Well, that was freaking lame. I wasn't lame. I saw the booster get caught, but the ship, I was excited for that. I was excited for the dummy Starlink, the freaking payload bay door open, and then the release of the fake Starlink, and then the in-burn Raptor.
So if you are just tuning
in space Raptor
we caught a
burn.
booster, but we are still waiting to find out a little bit more on the ship. So it had successfully separated. We did that hot staging maneuver. We did see all 6 of ship's engines on the way uphill during its ascent. But as we were getting to the end of that ascent burn, we saw engines dropping out on telemetry, and we have since lost contact with the ship. So
Engines dropping
again,
out. So I knew that was like
listening in
something
on the
wrong
loops,
with the
trying to figure out
engines going
how
out
much
like
we
that.
can get right now.
It's usually
again, stick with us. We'll bring
all
you
the
updates as soon as we
vacuum
hear.
engines go off.
Really
and
excited
then
we were
all
able to
the
catch the
sea
booster
levels
today.
then go off.
Obviously, we want to get the ship all the way over to the Indian Ocean.
If you still have
may not be
ship.
able to do that at this point, but we'll give you some updates as soon as we hear a little bit more about
Dude, we
For
lost
those
the
that didn't
ship.
catch earlier, this was a new version of the ship. This was its debut flight.
Come on,
so
bro. I
a
had
lot
so
of
much
learnings
faith.
here for sure as we continue to
This
tune
is like
in and
flight
listen in with
3
the teams and try to
days,
gather
not flight
more
3.
information
Flight 2
to understand where we stand
would
with the ship.
exploded
But,
on its way
as
up.
Dan mentioned before, teams are trying to make sure that it's not an instrumentation error. We want to find out if it's, did we just lose communication?
Maybe
or,
it's still up there, guys. Maybe
or
it's
did
still
something else
burning.
happen with the ship? So teams are
Or
actively
maybe it
working,
had a
trying
run.
to figure out
A lot of weird things going on.
what we can find out, and we're continuing to listen in and find out more information to share as we can. But as we said before,
let's go to here just to see what everybody else is saying. Alright, let's see. It could be pretty crazy. Oh yeah, that would be crazy.
power that
Exo's handling 1 million good pretty well. I can't wait till they're able to support 4K.
was
Right. Left off. Beautiful state situation. Go for pursuit return. Yep. Came in. Wow, look at NASA's space flights. Hold on.
Watch for the end.
Look
Watch
at
for the
NASA
landing
space
burn.
flights
It will be
views. Hold
quite
on.
a spectacle. The flamethrower.
Fly, baby, fly.
Coming in hot.
Do the thing.
Do the thing. Yes, come on.
Wow. Vapor on it.
Oh,
Whoa!
Wow.
Vapor cone.
Vapor cone.
Come on, baby.
Subsonic.
Yeah.
We got a light.
Let's go.
Come on.
Over here rooting for the booster.
Ooh, it's out.
Wow, that is amazing. That is cool. It looks like it's gonna hit. Dang, bro. That thing was high angle of attack. That thing was like about to hit the tower.
There it is.
Wow, that was amazing still. But so space makes look so easy. Congrats, looks so easy. Alright, now look. Whoa, sad day for the first V2 ship. No official word, but it's looking like the FTS was triggered after the engines dropped out. I knew something was wrong. First I saw that fire, and then the engine started going on weird. Where are the Raptors? Unreliable tuned out. 33 engines yet again. Awkward. Oh, poor ship. Alright, let's listen into the...
Just like this...
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me find the stream again.
Ascent phase, a couple of the engines dropped out, and then shortly thereafter we lost communication with the vehicle. So we are assuming that we have lost the ship, but we are standing by to confirm that, and once we can, we will. But this was a new version of the ship,
still going
Starship,
strong,
and it was intentionally designed and flown
really
in
had to
order
end
to
like that,
basically
dude.
test the envelope.
I had so much hope
as
for that
we
ship
have done
too,
with every
bro.
one of these test flights. The keyword there being test. And really trying to understand the boundaries and the maximums for the ability of this vehicle to fly and understand where those boundaries are. So we always knew that excitement is guaranteed today, success not guaranteed. And so yeah, we are standing by to see if we can learn more about the status of the ship.
Up. I don't see any other reason how the ship would be still here. The booster seems to have stabilized. Should I go to NASA spaceflight? No, never mind. The booster's still moving a little bit. You can see it. The booster looks good though. So. Might go see what's going on with NASA spaceflight in a minute here. But this booster this time, this thing came in probably a little wonkier than it's supposed to be, because yeah, it did get caught, but that angle of attack when I was first coming in with the tower, I mean when I was doing that turn maneuver to straighten out, like it was leaning. That thing looked like it was about to hit the tower. I wonder if they're gonna start moving the chopsticks soon. Oh yeah, they gotta stabilize the booster first with the first use the pushers. This is on the chopstick rails that we're looking at right now. And then they're gonna use this two other stabilizers that's at the bottom of the arms to grab the sides of the booster. And then once they stabilize it, then they're gonna lower it down on the OLM, orbital launch mount, and then detank it and get all that data. Probably roll it back to the production site. Imagine they reuse all the Raptors. Well, I don't know about the outer ones because I'm pretty sure those are warped, because they don't have for re-entry, they don't have chilling for those outer engines. So I'd assume just like Flight 5, the Raptors are going to be warped and stuff. Well, actually, we can see they had a good view. Whoa, hold on. Booster's moving. What does that mean? Yeah. Oh, never mind. Nothing. I don't think. Oh no. Hold on. Yeah, no, they're chilling. The engines. They're chilling all the engines. They're running all that liquid propellant through there.
Sure, the ship will go to
the vehicle. Looking forward to
standing by for.
They don't look warped, but you can't really see.
Attempting to.
Hold on, let's go back in the launch and see if we can notice anything up to stage separation. I mean, starting at stage separation. Just skip to here, because nothing really happened.
The flight.
Let's do a little pre-analysis.
Out.
Or pro-analysis. Since
don't take your eyes off it.
Or just ascent.
That's going to happen while we're still
let's go to live CFD. Nope, no update. Okay.
It looks like a speed
to the rolled ascent. It's going to be needed to line.
Now making.
We just heard the call out for booster.
Good fins turn.
Engine startup.
Most engines cut
Ship
off. Down
goes.
the
Booster is gone. On its way. Boost back burn.
Boost back burn startup.
All engines. Well, 12 of 13 engines. And then ship looks good. It starts accelerating onwards. And then booster is on its way doing his boost back
hot
burn.
Stage confirmed. We've got a boost.
Everything seems to be doing well. And then boost back burn ends. Hot stage ring jettison.
And there you can see on your screen, we had the we just jettisoned the hot stage, and there's a great, excellent view
RCS
there
to
of the hot
Inglet
stage
back
floating
to the
away
launch
from
tower.
the super heavy booster. Burns up just right before stage.
Just look. See, yeah, there's not a fire now. Right here, there isn't a fire. It doesn't seem to be anything.
We're looking good for that so far. Some great views there.
But then later you'll see something.
From the ship of Earth, that looks incredible. Now Starship.
The booster getting ready to go back.
To Chopsticks landing site.
Booster FTS is saved.
Now with that, we're gonna hand it back. How's it going over there, Dan and Kate? How are you doing, Kate? Seeing that in person.
Entire segment because I couldn't talk. That plume, at least it looks that way to us. It's incredible that it
slowing
basically
down
returns. It looks like a speeding, just like this silver
look
flare.
At that. I think I do see a warped raptor right. Yeah, look. I don't know if I'm tripping, but you can see it looks like it's a little warped as it's a little like pointy.
Coming back to the
almost some of the
once again we are standing by.
Yeah, that is warped. Oh, you can see that. These all of them. Oh, these raptors are destroyed, bro. It's not really those. It's not the whole engine. It's the bell. You can see those are like all bent all sorts of ways. Oh, jeez. Like, look at that. Y'all, I know y'all see that. All of them are like bent in all sorts of ways. That is, especially this one and this one. These two right here are messed up. Like
attempting to catch the booster at.
Like, look at that. That raptor is all flat on that side and
the tower.
Wow, and it's just fire on the heat shield there.
This would be the.
Wow, and then we got ignition of the engines. Got a better view of the raptors there, and it looks like a sonic boom.
Second.
We got 5 engines. Wait, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 engines.
Tower catch.
And then 10 engines.
Booster line.
But look how messed up those raptors are. You can really see.
Landing burn.
That
Seeing
plume
13 engines.
And then 3 engines.
Booster now hovering as it aligns with the tower.
60 miles an hour about.
Booster coming in.
Oh, look at that. Like,
down to 3 engines.
Seems like it came in at about 8 to 2 kilometers.
Second launch pad.
It's rocking. Yeah. And then that's where an engine went out for the ship.
That was
and
absolutely insane.
There's a fire. You can clearly see a fire right there.
We're not done, but we're.
And then other engines start going out on the ship.
Stunning. Gorgeous view.
And then another engine. Like, it just keeps getting worse. One vacuum
Now we're
Raptor
standing
engine.
by
At that point,
for,
it should be spinning out.
views from the ship,
Because
but
the
who
only
can take our
control the
items?
ship has is with those sea level
And
Raptor
we can
engines,
still see
and
the launch
only
plume
one of the vacuum
behind
engines were the
us,
last ones to
and
be
wow,
running. So that's how you know that something was wrong.
We
It
definitely.
literally,
I can't speak for
it
you.
would be spinning out of control. Wait. Did I miss
As
something?
well as the agencies that enable incredible.
Hold on, guys. I missed something. Let's see here. Well, that ended pretty fast, huh? That
And
did
to
not
stick
last long.
around. Thanks everyone for continuing.
Bro, come on, dude.
Stick around as we were checking in on the status of the
Only
ship.
5 million
At this point in
views.
time, we can confirm that we did lose the ship.
Oh my
however,
gosh.
Starship, the total vehicle, did have an on-time liftoff at 4:37 p.m. Central Time
caught
from
it,
the launch
guys.
pad just behind
I
us,
saw the
Starbase,
signs
Texas.
before it even happened.
Gorgeous ascent and successful
Oh,
stage
geez.
separation. The booster pushed the ship off, the ship disconnected during that stage separation. The booster came back for a successful, the second ever booster catch at the launch tower, which was pretty incredible to see.
It's lagging.
Yeah, it was great to see.
Let's see what
booster
other
down,
people are
but,
saying.
We are.
Okay, yeah. Ship 33 was lost 8.5 minutes, it seems. Huh? Flight 7? Oh, holy! What the freak? Yo, we already got views of the ship coming in. Oh my gosh. Look at that. That's the ship. Oh my. Wow. That's the ship re-entering the atmosphere. Y'all. Oh my god. It had a... Dang. Correct me if I'm wrong. Starship Flight 7 breaking up and re-entering over Turks in Kalos. That is crazy. It's already entering the Earth's atmosphere? And look at that. Bro. No, you can see all the... I'm assuming... Just look at that. That is crazy. If that's actually the ship, that is crazy. Wow, that is... It's so beautiful, but it's sad. This thing was supposed to... Oh my... This was ship 33 once, guys. Now it's just the hundreds of balls of flaming debris in the atmosphere. Yo, that is crazy. If that's actually it, let's see. You can definitely see flames coming from the aft flight hinge area. Yep, see? I knew it. I knew I wasn't tripping. Does that look like fire in places where it shouldn't be? Yep, that's what I was saying. I knew I wasn't the only one who saw fire. We literally don't know if it was a red or just engine dropping out, etc., etc. I think we have confirmation here. Wow.
What are those?
What are those? That used to be a rocket, buddy. Jeez. That's ship 33. And look at the trail it leaves behind as it's burning and the tanks are burning up and melting up in the atmosphere. That is just wow. That is crazy. I'm assuming they did the FTS or I don't know. Yo, that is just wow. Ship 33 re-entering the atmosphere. Not the way it was supposed to re-enter, obviously, but that was crazy, y'all. Let's go ahead and hold on, let's see what this is. 4K. Let's look at YouTube, guys, to see if NASA spaceflight has anything. Oops. That's the booster dangling there. Wow, look at this. Why is this out of focus? go back to when they caught the booster, y'all.
Rockets, and we will see. I will see you on the other side. Here you go, Gene.
So
They don't. Way.
All right.
There it is on
That's
your
the fire
screen.
starting
And
right
we
there,
start the coast
guys.
phase where we start these testings. They're going to start opening the payload bay. They're going to get those satellite deployment,
Wow.
the simulated satellites ready for deployment. But look at
Why are they?
unbelievable.
Get hot. Look at that.
Quite.
Wow.
Come on, baby.
Come on, light it up. Yeah.
We got a light.
Bro, what is up, dude? Is amazing.
Let's go. Come on.
Wow, sonic boom.
Ooh, it's out.
And then that view is, and then look how hard the booster turns. Look at the chopsticks moving, and look how much the booster is angled at the tower. Look at this. And then it just seamlessly just slides right in between the arms of the chopsticks.
Let's go.
Like, amazing catch. Just wow. And then right now,
Just test out
yeah.
the next chip, put it on
basically
top of
booster 12 all over again.
Rehearsal and done. Let's
Except
send
it launched a
I'm
V2
joking, there's a-
Starship up.
There's a good chance
Fortunately,
that this
didn't
will
make
trigger
up,
at least
but
both,
I mean, didn't make it,
FAA,
but
as well as the SpaceX
still.
investigation, because SpaceX
Amazing.
will not just blindly launch the next thing. I know people are always having this misconception that SpaceX is like, yeah,
wonder
we'll
what caused that,
break something and then
all
we'll
that
test
to
again.
happen.
Between that is a very important step where they are trying to find out why it broke, and then they test again. So there's a good chance that we will see modifications on
Imagine
this
they just reuse the
on
whole
next
booster.
ship.
That would be
And of
awesome.
course that means
All I gotta do is
if-
replace the outer
especially
engines
if
and
we
you
talk
good
about
to go.
anything about the fuel delivery, which right now is at least a suspect or candidate, that's not a part that you can just easily replace or fix.
And they gotta do their data
That will
and research
require
and
a bit
stuff.
more, let's say, ship opening. So, yeah,
Hey,
we'll
they did that
certainly.
with Booster 7, right?
That's true, but Booster 7 is also not a prime candidate for getting out of pad fast.
So one of the things that I'm being told in the back channel is that apparently the booster transport stand is moving. And it is going
they're already
out there
about to,
to
wow.
the launch site, or at least preparing
Oh,
to
they
do
still
so.
gotta move that booster.
And it doesn't move fast, so don't think it'll be out there in the next few minutes. It takes it a minute to get out there.
Yeah, it's a bit slow, but that's one of the processes, one of the steps to get that booster back to the production site and reuse it. One of
So
the
what-
things that I'm, oh, sorry,
Oh, go ahead.
I was thinking of another thing. Is that there? We're switching to that view. Oh, it's disappearing. Yeah, you can see it there behind the bushes to the right. You can see the Star Factory building, and then there's like this sort of black thing moving to the right of the screen behind the bushes on the right hand side of that view.
I don't
That's
see
the
it. Oh,
transport
never mind. I
stand
see
moving,
it peering
if I'm
behind the
not
bushes.
mistaken.
The booster transport
One of the
stand.
things that I'm also sort of taking a look at is those chopsticks will move the booster down to the center and
Yeah,
sort
with
of
the rails.
put it in
I
the
don't
right
think they've
position
moved
to
yet.
lower it down to the oil lamp.
Maybe
So
they
that's
have.
the next
I
thing that it happened a
don't
few
know.
hours after the landing on booster 12.
Oh.
But remember, they are speeding this up
Yeah.
for later boosters. For
So
this
it might be
booster,
happening like
we're hoping to see
right
that
now. Or soon.
maybe in the next couple of hours. We'll see.
Maybe a couple of minutes.
Yeah, and you brought
That'd
up
be
Booster
cool.
12, and I wanted to bring up the differences
Ship
on
is
the catch that
presumed
we saw.
lost.
We've got Booster 14 hanging up
Oh,
the
I saw
chopsticks.
it. Oh, that's
Now it's
venting.
venting from that plate. They're clearing
Venting.
the lines out from that QD plate. You know, we had the 3 engines come on both boosters.
That's
There's
fire.
for
It
you.
already
Is
caught
that
on
fire.
fire.
Is it just sunlight? That's fire.
Yep, that's fire.
So we
Yeah, a
had.
little bit of
How did it
fire.
even catch
we
on
had-
fire?
we had
Nothing's
the
even.
QD burning on the way down, or venting and
Oh
burning
yeah,
on the
it
way
did
down
that with
on
booster
12. We
12.
don't see that on this one
Yeah.
on 14. But
I didn't know how it caught
underneath,
fire.
and
That
I'm talking
scares
about
me
the
though.
differences in the
Like,
two, and you
is
guys can
that
chime
not
in,
like a
you know,
like?
anytime here.
Is it not
Differences
easy
of
for the
of
fighter to just
engine bay
go
itself seem
faster
to
than the
perform a lot
flow
better
is
on
coming out and
14
just
than
explode
they
the
did
whole
on
booster?
12.
Whatever.
Right, there was obviously a fire up in the engine bay, there's obviously pieces falling from underneath the ship on 12. This looked a lot cleaner from our perspective. You guys concur, Adrian? I'll come to you first. You guys concur on the difference in these two? This is like a much cleaner catch.
Yeah, I mean the catch seemed very like, well, like the moment that landing burn started, I had kind of no doubts anymore that they would make it because that looked so stable and clean. And honestly, it was just cool to see. Again, we are right now. We are still in a situation where we also try to understand where the ship is. But from a booster standpoint, showing that you can do this again, and showing that you understand when you can commit for a catch, and if you commit for a catch, you're not endangering your ground systems, but you're actually getting to the catch point, is a very good thing for the whole program. Because as soon as you get to the whole booster reusability, and we believe that the engines, for example, looked less deformed on this one, so it seems like they have some fixes there. As soon as you get to that booster reusability, that's half of your stack that you can quickly use and cheaper use for more test flights. This is what they need. This is what we've talked about before, that it's really important for the cadence. And all ship things aside, there's a booster, a giant booster hanging
It's the
between
silver
these
lining
chopsticks.
of this flight, right?
It's there will be amazing replays. There will be so much cool stuff coming out of this.
Oh yeah,
And,
waiting for the
we are not
SpaceX
done yet here with our
official
coverage.
videos and photos.
Yeah,
That's gonna be awesome.
We're gonna be like, oh,
And the full
we would be
explanation
talking
of what
about the
happened to
deployment.
ship
We'd be talking about
33.
camera views, and we'd be talking about, okay, peak heating, re-entry, and at the end of the day, we're like, booster catch. That's a booster catch. Alex, you gonna say something?
Yeah, so you know, the booster catch happened. Unfortunately, the ship was lost, and yeah, there's a lot of things now they need to go through with all of the telemetry and everything. And you know, again, as I repeated before, there's already a ship built, about to be tested. They can do a lot of these fixes in that time.
And before we were looking at the design of Block 2, and we want to reiterate, is Block 2, this was the first flight of Block 2. So just rewind everything back to the first flight of Block 1.
All right, guys.
It didn't go perfectly either. So
I think I'm a head out, y'all. This was a good launch. Wish the ship didn't explode, but still a great launch. Awesome views with the booster catch. Happy the booster was able to get catched, even with that one engine on the boost back burn failing. But it was able to relight during the landing.